Hey, this is DJ from DJSTRAINS on YouTube. In this video, I'm going to show you a place you probably have never seen before, also teach you a little bit about how the railroad works, and some of the sounds you may hear. Now let's take a look at North Bessemer Yard. This is in Penn Hills, Pennsylvania. I've covered the north end in a video before. This is the south end, where the Union Railroad and the Bessemer Link area would meet. And the building to our left is the former car shops. Now this was built in late 1951, was a 4-track facility, and is very inaccessible, extremely inaccessible by the public. So you probably didn't even know this existed, except by Google Maps. And of course it's relatively a ghost town now. Those 4 tracks can hold about 90 freight cars. It's pretty flat. Now the building itself is 215 feet long and about 30 feet wide. It contained a storehouse, a pipe and air brake room, a blacksmith shop, a tool room, a small paint and oil room, an air compressor room, locker room, lunch room, and offices. There used to be about 48 to 50 men employed, and they could crank out about 60 light repairs in a day. Well, you're probably wondering how I know all this. It's because I have a 6-page article on my website, DJSTRAINS.com, and you can go take a look at it if you could try to download the diagram of the building and try scratch building it yourself. And even if you're not modeling the Union Railroad, this should still give you some good modeling ideas of what the car shops can look like, what's inside the buildings. A lot of times I just don't know what's inside the buildings, so this article really helped. It doesn't have to be too big. You can just modify it to fit your needs. Because this building is in such a remote area, I didn't really feel the need to show the back of the building, and the same thing could be true on your layout. So it was a pretty quiet day up here. But we're going to go check out the far south end. Looking at the south end, if you can see in the background, the track's narrow to go into a tunnel. It used to be double track, now it's single track. An old yard office is on the left-hand side. And we're going to get up close to a southbound ore train. This train will continue south to the Edgar Thompson Steel Mill, where it's going to deliver the iron ore. But getting out of here is not an easy feat. As we see by the 4 engines, the puff of smoke showed that they are all online. It's going to be a tough pull getting out of here because it is a 0.5% grade all the way through the tunnel and then a 1.5% grade down the hill on the other side. Now, how do I know this? It's because I have what's known as a grade map, and this shows just how steep the railroad is. It's often been said that if you can run a train on the Union Railroad, you can run a train anywhere. So these engines are called MP15s. And they're one of my favorite engines to model, but my least favorite engines to run. And the reason why is, yes, they have great visibility when you have the big window to look out of, but they are so cramped on the inside because between you and where your conductor is the controls. It's really hard getting around and to hit all your breakers. And most of them don't even have toilets. True, most of them don't have toilets. But they're pretty cool. They are made in N scale, HO scale, and O scale by Atlas. And if you can't find any right away, check eBay. So the engines have just connected onto their cars. And one thing that they do, what we do, is whenever you connect onto cars, is you pull just a couple feet to make sure that all the couplers are locked together. You stretch the slack, we call it. Now we're going to take a look at what they're pulling. They're pulling a train of these hopper cars. And iron ore is never filled to the top. It is that grayish, purplish. It's kind of a hard color to model. But it is not filled to the top. You can always tell if a car is loaded or empty when you watch it go by because the springs in the wheels are either going to be really squished down or springy, if that's a word. Alright, we're going to put the drone away and we're going to get the 4K video camera out and go to the other side of the tunnel, down to the former Universal Atlas cement plant, and we're going to wait for the train to come south. Now, one thing I really like about this railroad is the power of these 4 engines are going to be pulling this train. You're going to hear some rumbling, so you might want to adjust your speakers. And we're on the other side now, and the signal has just gone clear. A lot of times the signals will be dark. There'll be no light until the train is on that circuit. So when that light went clear, I knew that the train was approaching. You'll see the cement plant in a lot of my previous videos. We can really hear it. Can't really tell by video, but the ground is shaking. I got it on a good tripod, but man, the ground is rumbling. Okay, I turned the volume down on the train. That way I can explain what you're going to be hearing and seeing. Now, the Union Railroad does not have dynamic braking on their engines, and that is, on the more modern engines, it's the ability to slow the engines down without affecting the car's brakes. They don't have that, so instead the engineer is going to continue to pull, and he's going to apply pressure to the brakes on the cars. It's all done through air. The first thing he's going to do is apply minimum service, and minimum service is between about 5 to 8 pounds of pressure. It reacts very quickly to the cars. So if you have a loaded car next to an empty car, or an auto rack next to a flat car, this gets them all on the same page so that they all are applying the same amount of pressure to the cars, and then from there you can add more. From there, the brake pads are pressing against the wheels, and that causes some of the squealing noises you hear sometimes. Especially with the older cars, you'll hear a little bit more squealing than some of the newer cars. Another thing you might notice is just a little bit of smoke. Look at the back of this train. Did you see that haze back there? You'll see that sometimes. Now, remember when I was talking about telling if a car is low or empty? Let's look at the springs. See how the springs are squished down? That means the car is loaded. Now, how also to tell if the brakes are applied is, let's look at the brake cylinder, and the piston is sticking out. See the silver of the piston? That sticks out between about 5 to 7 inches on a normal car. That means the brakes are applied. Alright, there's another example right there. So he's going to pull this whole train down with the brakes applied. You cannot just simply knock the air off, because when those brakes release and you're going down to 1.5% grade, hey, goodbye, you're going for a ride there. It is not something like a gas pedal you can or a brake pedal you can just, ease on and off. And I edited the video to show you the awesome caboose that is usually on the end of these Union Railroad trains for their backup moves. And look, did you see that? Here, I'm going to pause it. They have a horn. Aha, I probably didn't notice that. That's for their backup moves. Yes, the conductor does ride the shoves, and if there's a road crossing, he will blow the horn. And even though there's a caboose for the crew, there is still a end of train device. That flashing red light provides protection for oncoming trains behind it. Also, the device tells the engineer how much air is on the rear of the train. So we still use both of those. Okay, that signal is red. That means there is a train ahead. and it also means the end of my video. So I ask you to subscribe to my channel, DJSTRAINS, hit that bell icon to be notified of future videos. There's over 150 videos right now for you to go back and watch. Also, check out my website, DJSTRAINS.com, and follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And I have more videos coming because I've been filming, so go check it out. I enjoy all my new subscribers, so thank you for everything. I'm really sincerely appreciative, very appreciative for all that you guys have done over the years. Thank you. Bye.